In a world that rushes, it's time to pause, to listen, to feel, to find your cause. Welcome to Freeman's Verbal Guidance.
Hiya, you alright? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Leanne. I'm a fully qualified advanced clinical hypnotherapist. Today I want to just take you through some law of assumptions inspired by Neville Goddard. And it's about how when we assume something, it normally turns out to be true. So if we assume that our life is going bad and our life is crap, it normally will be. If you assume, even if you have to lie to your brain a little bit to trick it, but even if you assume, my life's great, I live in a beautiful place, I've got everything I need, it will be. All right. So rather than me babble on about all that kind of stuff, because I would start talking for hours. You don't want that. Or maybe one day you might. But anyway, so let's go through the 10 laws of assumption. I might only get through 5. It depends on how long the video goes on for. So number 1, assume the wish fulfilled. Okay. The law. What you consistently assume to be true eventually hardens into fact. And that is fact. You consistently assume something, it will turn into fact. So think about that. If you assume you're skint, you will be. If you assume you're rich and you've got enough, you will be. That's how I changed it. I started listening to a guy called Jake Ducey quite a few years ago, quite a long while ago. And I started listening to positive affirmations, and then that led me on to like frequencies, listening to healing frequencies and other stuff like that. But Neville Goddard it's amazing, it's amazing. So the short guide for it is, instead of focusing on what you want, mentally move into the feeling that it has already happened. There is no time limit. The bigger sometimes it is, the bigger the wish, sometimes the longer it kind of takes to bring and put things into order. Okay. But if you assume that it's already happened, you'll see that you'll start coming across all kinds of information that you need to in order to make it happen. This is how I got this is actually how I came across the hypnotherapy course that I started and that I continued with, and I absolutely love them to bits. Even though I'd done lots of this research years before, I never realised the connection between the law of assumption and hypnosis or hypnotherapy. And so you move into a mental feeling that it's already happened. So ask, how would I think if it were already true? And how would I feel? Write those 2 down and just make a little 5 list, a list of 5. How would I think if it were already true? And how would I feel? So instead of, I hope I become confident, you assume I am naturally confident and calm. And if you want, you can go over to my other channel, Lee Freeman Hypnotherapy. I've got some recordings on there. It's not hypnotherapy, that's a totally different thing. It's more of a one-on-one with me and you. But these are recordings that you can kind of get yourself down into that peace and calm, that still time, and become confident. Where's my C? So number 2, consciousness creates reality. You've heard me say this before, and it does. Your consciousness creates your reality. And this, as a hypnotherapist, is where we work with the consciousness and the subconscious. We help to bring them into alignment with each other, because the subconscious runs on autopilot, and the consciousness just does things and is not really aware of what they're thinking. It's really powerful when you realise this stuff. So your consciousness creates reality. The law, your outer world reflects your dominant inner state. So your outer world reflects your dominant inner state. My outer world used to be the middle of Hackney, watching EastEnders, being down pubs in Oxton, working the bars. That was my outside reality. And my inside dominant state was I was an alcoholic. So I changed it. Turn that shit off to start with. Pay attention to your habitual thoughts, emotional patterns, and self-talk. Your inner identity shapes external experiences. So, for example, if you're always thinking, or you're always telling yourself, I'm no good, I'm crap, I'm rubbish, then your inner world will reflect that. Your outer world will reflect that. But if you turn your thoughts round, self-talk, tell yourself, do you know what? I am good enough. I can do this. You really can do it. And I was called a little CUNT most of my life when I was growing up. So that's the only word we really heard. And as I grew up, not even getting to, we'll say 9 or 10 years old, I was literally one of them. Yeah, it's because I was told that. I was told that all the time, so I believed it and I became it. And this is what I literally totally understand now. So observe reoccurring thoughts. Now think of this: if you wake up in the morning and you've kind of got this, oh shit, don't want to go to work today, and then all of a sudden you stub your toe on the door frame or on a chair, it's normally trying to pull you out of that negative thinking. It's trying to say to you, what are you doing? Stop thinking like that. All right? So observe your get that one out. Observe your reoccurring thoughts. Replace fearful assumptions with empowering ones. Stop identifying with old limitations. That's all you got to do. Replace fearful assumptions with empowering ones, and stop identifying with old limitations. There is no limit. They say the sky's the limit. That's a load of rubbish. There is no limit. You are as clever as you want to be. You are as smart as you want to be. Don't ever let that outside world crap influence your thoughts and your feelings. Let your more dominant thoughts come forward, your positive thoughts come forward, and they'll start reflecting in your outer life. All right, 8 minutes. All right. So I'll probably just go through 3. Feeling is the secret. So the law, emotion and feeling impress the subconscious mind more deeply than words alone. Did you hear that right? Emotion and feeling impress the subconscious mind more deeply than words alone. So when you're giving something you're feeling, you're giving it your emotion. You're feeding it. So when you're feeding and feeling that emotion, you are imprinting it on the inside, and that's what's going to play out. So if you react in a bad way, in a bad response way, with anger and in you, all right, your emotions and your feeling is going to impress on that, and you'll probably find that later on that day you've got something else to make you angry. So be aware of your emotional responses. Okay? Be aware of your emotional responses. Respond with calm. Take a few deep breaths and respond with calm. Okay, I know I've been there as well when I've just went and let loose, but then you realise who's that harming? It's harming you. It's harming you, you know. So, so where were we? Right. So manifestation is not about repeating affirmations mechanically. It's about emotionally experiencing the reality inwardly. Manifestation is not about repeating affirmations mechanically. It is about emotionally experiencing the reality inwardly. Okay? So you can listen to manifestations and assumptions and positive affirmations, but it's about feeling them emotionally and imprinting and actually feeling them, living it, feeling it, being there, being it. So this is the one I like as well. Feeling gratitude before results appear. Being thankful that it's already there and you're saying thank you. You know when some people, they pray and they'll sit there and they'll pray, and they'll ask for things. They'll ask for things. I always say thank you. I just say thank you. If I do anything, I just close my eyes, I go in and I say thank you. Because it's already there. I'm showing my gratitude towards it already being fulfilled. So feel gratitude before results appear. Feel peace before circumstances change. You really need to get inner peace. Feel peace. Stop being fearful, because these people out there feed off your fearful energy and they love it. And when you know these laws, and especially when you go deeper and deeper into this stuff, you'll realise there is no reason to be fearful of nothing. You are more powerful than you believe. And this is another thing you've got to start imprinting into your mind. I am more powerful than they assume me to be. All right, assume yourself to be powerful, because you are. Feel loved before external validation. That one's because some of us out there, we can't feel love. We can't feel inner love for ourselves. We've been so damaged and so traumatized that there is no love for yourself. But you know what? You got to change it. I need a little drop of my tea. You've got to change it. The way I kind of say to people, if you don't love yourself first, how can you love anyone else? Because you've got no way of knowing how to love. Because love comes from loving yourself first. And you really do have to love who you've become or love who you are. We may have started out as little bastards, but when, we change and we grow, we evolve, and you start loving who you are. And when I was younger, I have got a little story on the trans issue thing, and I'm, in a way, improvise with it, in a way. And maybe that's a different story for me to come back to. But because I was kind of in that traumatized, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know if I was a boy or a girl, and I used to dress like a boy and think I was a boy and all that kind of stuff. And that, although now I'm glad that I've grown up and gotten out of that one. So it was about me literally having a bit of body dysmorphia, and I didn't love myself. And then I realised that, you know what, I am me, and I love me. I love who I am, and I embrace who I am now completely, my femininity and everything, Geez, my head was mucked up back then. So feel love before external validation. Feel love before external validation. Feel your own love. All right. I'm probably going to just leave it there for a bit, because it'll give me something to come back to. tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, probably tomorrow. Sorry if I rambled on a little bit. As I say, I am new to doing this kind of stuff, but I just would love to educate you on, the law of attraction, the law of assumption. There's so many laws of the universe out there, and it all starts with changing the way you think about yourself. It really does. And about the way you emotionally react to things out there. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to get off, and I'll see you next time. As I said, you can go over to my other channel, Lee Freeman Hypnotherapy. You can find me at leefreemanhypnosis.com. Yeah, I'll get back with another one. See you later. Bye.